Hey everyone, Action 666 here, that hillbilly in Japan. Come on in, kick your feet up, throw back some of that Kool-Aid, stay a while. Got some more of that Back for Blood content for you today. I am a Twitch streamer. I stream 4 days a week. The link is down, here, yeah. Make sure you guys swing by sometime. So what have I got for you today? I've got a melee deck for you. One of my more unique ones. It is a Hoffman deck. It uses Pyro. It's a Pyro melee hybrid deck. Very unique, very good deck. I'm going to be starting to get more of my decks out there in the coming weeks. Get some videos out there for you guys, stuff for you guys to try, and my take on things. First and foremost, use this as a template. If you want to use it as is, cool. But just remember, everyone's play style is a little different. What works for me might not work for you, so take it, make what changes you need to do, fit it to your play style. If it works as is, cool. If you gotta make some changes, awesome. All I ask is you guys swing back by the stream, or swing into the stream, come back to the YouTube video in the comments, or come to the Discord, let me know, give me some feedback on the deck, even if you just copy and paste it and run with it, or if you stick around and watch the video. Either way, come back, let me know. I would love to know what you guys think, or any improvements or recommendations. Any of that stuff any feedback is amazing. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump over to the deck, and I will break down the cards I'm using and why. Hey guys, here's the Hoff deck, the Pyro melee hybrid deck. Like I was saying, for those that just want to copy and paste it, there it is on the screen. Reach out and grab it, toss it in your game, try it out. Like I said earlier, just make sure you guys swing back, give me some feedback, let me know what you think of it. For those sticking around, I'm going to go ahead and break down the cards I'm using and why. And yeah, let's get to it. So the first card in my deck, which is in every single one of my decks, is Share the Wealth. Yes, I know there's a whole argument out there of using Share the Wealth, and then also using Copper Scavenger, Money Grubbers. Whole long discussions out there. There's tons of threads for it out on Reddit. I'm not going to get into that. It's a whole nother video. It's a whole nother can of worms. At the end of the day, I'm a Share the Wealther. It's what I use. Leave it at that. We will push on. Vanguard. Now, anyone's been following me for a long time or has watched my streams regularly would know I've had a very strong hatred for Vanguard ever since No Hope came about, because I felt like its value kind of plummeted. But since the June update, my opinion on that has shifted. Now I feel like you can either run Vanguard or Battle Lust, or of course you can run. There are decks out there where you run both. Saying if you're only running one, you can go either or. Especially since they dialed back Battle Lust and they changed the way Vanguard works. They both do 1 health now. Instead of Vanguard doing 1 temp health and Battle Lust doing 2 health. Battle Lust is more of a selfish melee health restoration card because it doesn't affect the team, whereas Vanguard is a team support melee health restoration card. So in that regards, I ended up going with Vanguard just to support the team. Just to give them some of that Vanguard healing, and of course, overheal, turning it into temp health. There's a lot more team support card. Next is Face Your Fears. Every melee deck has to have Face Your Fears. It is a must. It is extremely needed. Temp health protects you from trauma damage. They did nerf it a little bit, or adjust it a little bit in the June update. Now it does only 1 temp health instead of 2. Still required. You need that temp health. Just standard melee card. Now Meth Head. So they did change the way Meth Head works in the June update. There's a lot of discussions of it on Reddit. Kind of two sides of the coin. You've got people that love it, and you got people that hate it. There are quite a few people out there that hate it. I like it. It's a really strong buff. I love the way the card operates now. Before, it was just a flat, 30 cent melee speed and 40% stamina, melee stamina efficiency. If I'm correct, I might have them backwards, but either way, I think it was 30-40. Now, it starts at 5% for each, but it stacks up to 10 times. So basically, 50% melee attack speed and 50% melee stamina efficiency. That is all around a buff. That's true, you gotta build up 10 stacks, but you don't have to attack enemies to build those stacks. Just swing your weapon or punch the air occasionally, keep the stacks at 10. And it's up all the time. If it drops down, it's not that big a deal either. It builds up really fast. I don't see the complaint for it. It's, like I said, it's a stronger card than it used to be. So what that you gotta build up stacks? Like I said, it's not a big deal. Good card. Every melee deck should have it. Now, Brazen. They did make some adjustments to Brazen in the June update. They did dial it back. Before the June update, you could make an argument for using either Slugger or Brazen, because the old Brazen was a little stronger, but it had minus 5% damage resist. Whereas Slugger didn't change, it's still the same, but it gives 5 health. You could kind of argue for both in the past, but if you didn't want the negative damage resist. Well, they got rid of that negative damage resist, and like I said, they dialed Brazen back. It's just barely stronger than Slugger now. But at the end of the day, it is stronger than Slugger. So there's really no reason to take Slugger, because who cares about 5 health? I'd much rather have 5% more of melee stamina efficiency, so Brazen. Rhythmic breathing. Now, this is more of a playstyle choice. And it was the card, using the card was on purpose, but you'll notice in this deck I don't use adrenaline fueled. That part was an accident. That was 100% an accident. So the first time I used this deck was, I think, Act 2 No Hope. I don't think it was an Act 3, I think it was an Act 2. It could have been an Act. I don't know. Bad memory, I can't reach back that far. But either way, it was in either Act 2 or 3 No Hope. Ran through the whole act. It was a really, first time using the deck too. Really smooth run, had no problems. We pretty much stayed topped off on health the entire time, because this deck craps on hordes. Like I said, it was just a really smooth run. Once that being said, once we finished the run, I was really, surprised me how well the deck did, and I jumped in there to look at the deck, like I usually do when I use a new deck, just to look and see if there's any changes I need to make or anything like that. And that's when it caught my eye that I had forgotten to put adrenaline fueled in there. Totally forgot to put it there. And that's when I discovered that adrenaline fueled is not a necessity for a melee deck if you are using a bat or a machete, especially a machete. You will need something like rhythmic breathing, though, just so you have that extra stamina. Now, my whole reasoning for using rhythmic breathing was to have that stamina cushion, if you will. Because if you're not a Holly, because Holly has that natural extra 25 stamina. Nobody else does. So if you're not a Holly, having that rhythmic breathing gives you that little boost of stamina. So if you do need to sprint or something like that, you can do that and still have some stamina left over to melee with. Whereas the default stamina runs out pretty quick if you have to do anything other than melee, because adrenaline fuel will, even if you have default stamina, adrenaline fuel will keep your stamina up. But so it was really just a play style choice, and I just like having that extra stamina at the end of the day. So if it's not a Holly deck or a Fire X deck, I only run rhythmic breathing. I don't run drill. So yeah, just play style choice. So next is kind of what I consider the new Holy Trinity. So that's Pinata, Magician's Apprentice, and Pyro. Now, there are some people, opinions that I've gotten, that think putting those 3 cards on a melee deck is a waste. Strongly disagree, especially since I've used this deck and have used it in, I actually had applied it to a mission in an act. So the whole idea behind this deck is to be a horde manager, having many different avenues or approaches or what have you to handle a horde. Get meleeing, Molotovs, pipe bombs, grenades, what have you. Razor wire. Those 3 cards give you that ability, So you're in a bad situation and get to a good horde bottleneck, and you got a horde coming from your left, and the horde's kind of coming from the right. If you've got some Molotovs on, you can throw a Molotov to the right, and go over melee to the left. So, I mean, you're gaining massive healing because of Pyro and the Molotovs, you're generating items, and then you're over here meleeing, killing your teammates with Vanguard, giving yourself that much more health. It gives you really, really strong horde management. Your team will get bored at times because you will massacre hordes. You will be able to handle them in so many different ways that a lot of times you don't even have to swing. It's just really good. Works out really well. And of course, Pinata is instant team value. Can generate any accessory in the game, which instantly saves the team money or copper. Medkits, toolkits, defibs, grenades, what have you. Of course, Magician's Apprentice all goes with that little Trinity, and you get that 10% reuse chance, which stacks on top of other reuse chances, like on razor wires or toolkits, things like that. Also works on offensive items. You got 10% chance of not using that Molotov or not losing that pipe bomb. Just a good card. Pyro meshes really, really well in there. You get that temporary health from burning things, which is really good. Sometimes you can throw a Molotov into a door, burn the horde down, and then in the off chance that, say, there's charred in there or armored enemies that are festered that don't die from the Molotov and they make it in, you can still punch them and push them back into the fire, or you can go and melee them, what have you. You can, like I said, manage the horde, generate, get more items because you can just keep them in the fire. Really good. Next, Spiky Bits. You will notice that is the only melee damage card I have in the deck. I will say the first time I made this deck, first time I used it in that Act 2 or Act 3 run, I had Mean Drunk in there because I was still learning, experimenting with the deck at the time. I later made another deck. I will not get into that deck, but I will say that the particular deck only used Spiky Bits because its sole purpose was handling commons. It worked out really well, which made me go back and reassess this deck. And I got to thinking about it, and the whole purpose of this deck, like I said, is to be a horde manager. So, why run Mean Drunk if Spiky Bits is strong enough to allow a machete or bat to one-shot any common in the game? So, I run just Spiky Bits. It's all that's needed to manage a horde. You don't need any more. This deck's not designed for specials. That's what the DPSs are for. Or the occasional grenade that I may have. Whatever. So, I ended up replacing Mean Drunk with Heavy Hitter. Now, in saying that, I did have 3 choices that I was going to go with. Improvised Explosives, Fire in the Hole, or Heavy Hitter. So I thought about Improvised Explosives. While good and adds accessory damage, like my razor wires and my Molotovs and my pipes, it's unnecessary. Like I said, all I care about is managing commons. So I don't need that extra accessory damage. I mean, it's just unneeded. I mean, pipe bomb's gonna one-shot commons anyways. Molotovs, like got Pyro, who cares? Then razor wire. I mean, the only time you're gonna be killing things with razor wire is D5. So, and if you have enough of it, it's gonna kill them anyways. So, unneeded. Fire in a Hole, really, really strong card, I will say, but it's very situational. There's really only 2 missions in the game where you really, really need it. And that's Body Dump and maybe Broken Bird. So it's very situational. I didn't feel like putting a card in there that I was only going to use for 2 missions. And I don't need the 10 health from it because I got Pyro. So I ended up going with Heavy Hitter. While it is a situational card, it still adds team value. Really good team value. In the off chance that your DPS can't drop a special before he gets within striking range, you can run up to it as a melee and punch it or melee it, melee weapon, whatever, and instantly stumble it. And 9 times out of 10, that stumble will give your DPSs enough time to hose down that special. So it's kind of like an oh shit button for your melee. That just helps the team. Situational, but has great potential value team. Motorcycle helmet, pretty standard. Not much to say about this. 15% damage resist, 10 health. Can't aim it on sides, who cares? You got Meth Head. Enough said about that. Standard melee card. EMT Bag. Now, this is a card I have started running in all of my melee decks since the June update, because now all the melee health restoration cards are affected by healing efficiency. So EMT Bag is really strong. There's negative to it, 50% healing efficiency. Boom, Vanguard now does 1.5. Face Your Fears now does 1.5. All around, really good. So just really strong card for melee. As A Fiddle, I highly recommend any melee deck you have has As A Fiddle in there. The only exception to that rule is if you're a Charisse, you can get around it because she has it built in. But other than that, you should be running As A Fiddle. Bolstered health is invaluable for melee. Just adds to your survivability. You know, sacrifice some tankiness just because you have that much more health. It's just a really good card. Well rested, one of the best cards in the game in my opinion. Every deck I have, I'm pretty sure I have well rested in it. Overheal's value is just immeasurable. It also, I mean, you got more than one arrested on a team. Vanguard becomes that much stronger on healing the team. It's also got the built-in 5% team healing efficiency. All around, incredible, great team supporting card. Recommend it for any deck. If everyone ran it, that would be, what, 80% healing efficiency, or 80% team overheal across the board all the time. It's just amazing value. It makes a doc's life easier. It's just really good. But that's the deck, guys. That is the Hoff. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck. Like I said, use the template, make changes you need fit. You see fit. Alright, English is hard. Or keep it as is. Either way, let me know what you guys think. Yet again, give me that feedback. I will get you guys some more decks in the near future, so you guys have different things to play around with or test out, just different ways to play the game that you didn't think about. But yeah, until next time, guys, happy gaming, keep drinking that Kool-Aid, and peace.